He's an actor who loves to internalize the fine nuances of acting, be it pain, humor, or happiness. Sushant Singh Rajput is adept at almost everything. And right now, he's just basking in the glory of his latest film, Kedarnath. We'll talk about that. Wonderful to have you back on board, Hungama.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me here.
All right, so as I mentioned in the intro that you have this unique ability to internalize. When I watched Kedarnath, the confusion about the religious identity in a way, and or be it the class divide, there's a lot of subtlety in your performance. Would you like to talk about that?
I think it's very recently that I realized one thing, that we all act all the time. I'm not saying act in terms of that we lie all the time, but I'm saying that we generally act all the time. And as an actor, what I used to do in films is that we are told not to act, make it natural, make it natural. Well, that's a great way to go. But then I thought my characters, just like me, could also act in front of my co-characters. So when you think like that, then you try to cut down your emotions so that the other co-character does not. If you don't want to, don't want them to know, then you're cutting down on emotions, and what you're left with on your face are just those small nuances.
Wow.
So this is what I understood. It was not something that I planned like that, but I understood that my characters can act in front of my co-characters. And when you do that, and when you play a character like Mansoor, who's very restrained, he actually defines his perimeter, what he cannot do. Then what gets left on his face is those small nuances. And that's exactly what he was supposed to do, basically, in the film.
Are you happy with the response at the box office? Because the industry is quite surprised because it has done, in a way, maybe better than what people were expecting. Because the movie has been in the making for some time, and there were all these conjectures about the release date, and then it came on December 7th. So box office response so far, even the Monday, it has held up nicely.
So that's a great thing to know, that people are going and watching it. I think it's an upward trend, as you say. So I'm hoping that it's word of mouth, which says that the film is liked by the audience, which is a good thing. Also, producers get their money back, so that's another good thing.
Right.
I don't understand box office numbers in terms of, I can't predict them, I can't understand them. I know that good films should do well, probably, but then I don't understand the mathematics of box office numbers, so I don't indulge in that much. But of course, it's a good thing to know that the film is doing well.
In fact, it's being said that it is going to be a biggest grosser after MS Dhoni.
That's great. If that's true, I don't know. But yes, all I can take the meaning is that more and more people would watch it, which every actor and every technician in the film wants. So yeah, that's a very good feeling.
Okay, so the love story between you and Sarah is working very nicely. How do you respond when you see people sitting in dark halls, responding to certain things happening on the screen the way you guys had intended them to?
I can only assume that that's happening because I have not experienced it. I generally don't watch my film when it releases. Probably I'll watch it after a few months when I can watch two or three of my films back to back. So there is a certain takeaway. You understand that, oh, this is something that you do and should not do, because that's a pattern in all the films. You are playing three characters, so there shouldn't be any similarity in terms of unintentional. So then there is a takeaway. So I don't watch my films that much. So I don't understand. I don't have the experience of it, but I can only assume that they would understand that, and it's a very great feeling.
So I'll give you examples where people are responding the way they are responding. One is the entire rain sequence when you and Sarah are there, and that Lag Ja Gale sequence happens. The chai sequence is something that people are liking a lot. And जो आप लोगों की romantic walks हैं, which are either घोड़े पे या फिर आप जो मेहनत कर रहे हैं, those are moments that are connecting with the audience. People are responding maybe the way you guys would have wanted to.
That's great, because that's exactly what the script at those points intended to do. कि कुछ ऐसा important event नहीं होता है जिसकी वजह से ये लोग close आते हैं, but just because they are together over a period of time, because of which they come together, which was the intention. तो अगर आप कह रहे हैं कि वो सारी चीज़ें हैं, except the लग जा गले scene, जो कि वो पहली बार मंसूर बोलता है कुछ अपनी लाइफ के बारे में, खुलता नहीं है जनरली लोगों के सामने, लेकिन जब वो बोलते हैं कि आप कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे, and this is when he completely now goes for the girl, in the sense of उसको समझ में आ जाता है कि उसको पर्सनली क्या चाहिए अपनी लाइफ में, हमेशा उसने क्योंकि उसको बचपन से लगता है कि ही इज़ द रीज़न ऑफ हिज फादर्स डेथ, सो ही इज़ ट्राइंग टू कॉम्पनसेट फॉर इट बाय गिविंग टू everybody else except thinking about himself. And but when he meets Mukku, he realizes that this is his personal want, and that's the conflict कि कैसे बैलेंस करे. And of course the knowledge की ये हो भी नहीं सकता, वो उसको शुरू से पता है. इसीलिए जब पूजा का कैरेक्टर उसको आके कहता है कि तुम क्या कर रहे हो, he actually उसको पता था, and that's why he faces himself that what was I doing or thinking. तो उस समय वो छोड़ता है और उस सीन में actually he completely goes for the girl. He gives in and he जो अंदर की जो उसकी बात है वो उससे डिस्कस करता है. So of course that was an eventful scene, but other than that it was meant like that.
So certain protests have been there with regards to this love jihad angle. How do you look at it?
Mostly we mix contexts. तो हमारा कॉन्टेक्स्ट अलग होता है और बातें सेम होती हैं जो कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अलग अलग साउंड करती हैं. वी हैव टू डिफाइन व्हाट द हमारे डेफिनेशन में फिल्म करती क्या है. क्या ये एंटरटेनमेंट है, फिक्शन है, फिर तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. क्या ये रियलिटी बता रहे हैं क्योंकि उससे अगर पब्लिक इन्फ्लुएंस ओपिनियन हो सकता है तो ऑफ कोर्स उनको रिस्पॉन्सिबल होना चाहिए. बट देन देयर इज CBFC, देयर इज जुडिशरी, देयर इज अ वे टू गो अबाउट इट. लेकिन आपको लगता है कि ये बहुत ही immediately हो जाएगा, we need to have a talk. So there are ways you can do it. Yeah, so but these are the things that we can do. And then when we sit together, we understand the context. हम क्या हमारा context एक है, उसके बाद बात हो सकती है. आप किसी अलग context में बोल रहे हो कि ये चीज़ गलत है, बिल्कुल होगी, लेकिन मेरा context ही अलग है. So I think we are mixing the contexts and we are not acknowledging the nuance also. As a society.
Does it bother you as a creative person that when certain things are inferred, जिसका कोई ऐसे आपने भी कहा कॉन्टेक्स्ट मिक्स हो जाता है, जिसका कोई फंसाने में कोई जिक्र भी नहीं था. जैसे मैंने कुछ जो चीज़ें मैंने पढ़ी जब ये सारा कि उत्तराखंड में बैन हो गई है, एंड आई रेड दैट सेम स्टेटमेंट इन सेवरल ट्वीट्स बाय लॉट ऑफ पीपल कि ये बात एकदम बिल्कुल गलत थी कि प्रलय इस वजह से आई कि एक मुस्लिम फैमिली को केदारनाथ से जाने के लिए बोल दिया गया. ये तो कोई जिक्र भी नहीं था उसका. तो That was never.
वही मैं कह रहा हूँ कि
जो इन्वायरमेंट का आपने जो बोला था कि भाई ओवर कमर्शलाइजेशन नहीं होना चाहिए, उसका तो कोई जिक्र ही नहीं हो रहा है.
देखिए वही जैसे आपने ये बात को स्पेसिफिकली कहा. सो नाउ आई अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्टेक्स्ट. आई कैन गिव यू अ स्पेसिफिक आंसर टू दिस. एज अ सोसाइटी वी डोंट एक्नॉलेज नुआंस एंड दैट गेट्स मैनिफेस्टेड इन डिफरेंट मेजर प्रॉब्लम्स दैट वी हैव टुडे. इट इज द सेम थिंग. वी डोंट सी दैट देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ कोरिलेशन एंड अ कॉजेशन. चीज़ें साथ में अक्सर होती हैं. अगर ऐसा होता तो ये 2-3 चीज़ें साथ में होती हैं और वो होंगी. देयर इज अ पैटर्न. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि ये चीज़ ये कॉज कर रही है. सो देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन कोरिलेशन एंड कॉजेशन. तो यही बात है कि जब एक स्टोरी हुई थी, हम तो बोल ही रहे ना कि फिक्शन है इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ एन इवेंट जो हुआ था. तो फिक्शन में जब ये बात हुई थी कि उसने बोला कि तो प्रलय आएगी, हैपेंड टू बी coincidental with the cause, but this was not the cause. तो ये डिफरेंस हम नहीं समझते कि कोरिलेशन और कॉजेशन अलग चीज़ें होती हैं. तो अगर ये बात करेंगे तो सबको समझ में आ जाएगा. हम स्पेसिफिकली भी इसके बारे में बात कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. सो वी डोंट अंडरस्टैंड देयर इज अ डिफरेंस ऑफ द कॉन्टेक्स्ट. देयर इज नॉट द प्रॉब्लम. अच्छी बात है कि लोग बात करते हैं, अच्छी बात है कि क्वेश्चन उठता है, अच्छी बात है कि लोग इतनी जल्दी एक्शंस ले सकते हैं. ये सारी बहुत अच्छे टेक अवेज हैं. लेकिन इफ वी आर कंसर्न अबाउट व्हाई वी आर डूइंग व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, देन वी नीड टू सिट टुगेदर टू कम टुगेदर. वी डोंट नीड टू फाइट टुगेदर टू कम टुगेदर.
Certain scenes in the movie where we realize that we have this arrogance about a lot of things, but the fact is when nature decides to take action, everyone is equal.
True.
Everyone is vulnerable.
Absolutely.
There are talks of a major earthquake possibility in Himalayas.
Absolutely.
It can be catastrophic. Something is,
True.
I think 7.5 has happened in Antarctica today.
True.
Do you think that it's important for people to realize that just fighting over trivial issues like religion and that मैं तुमसे बेहतर हूँ और मेरी बात माननी चाहिए, do you think it's high time people realize that?
हाई टाइम से भी अगर कुछ ज़्यादा इमीडिएट टाइम हो सकता है तो वो टाइम है अभी. बिकॉज दिस इज़ फॉर श्योर आवर इग्नोरेंस कैन नॉट स्टॉप what is inevitable. और मैं जो इनोवेटिबिलिटी की बात कर रहा हूँ वो है जो अभी टेक्नोलॉजी से भी आएगी।
जी।
आपको मैं एक फैक्ट देता हूँ, 65% ऑफ द किड्स who are going to kindergarten this year will end up, if they ever end up having a job, will end up working for technologies that are still not invented yet. तो जब ऐसा होता है तो schools को भी पता नहीं होता कि वो पढ़ाएं क्या। तो अभी हम ऐसे स्टेट पे हैं कि हमें पता ही नहीं है कि हमें पढ़ाना भी क्या चाहिए। तो हम कितना अच्छा पढ़ते हैं और आपस में हमारी रैंकिंग क्या है, ये तो इममटीरियल हो गया। मैं आपको पूरे ग्लोबल प्रॉब्लम बता रहा हूँ। हमें नया नॉलेज स्ट्रक्चर बना रहे हैं एजुकेशन का, जिसमें हम इमोशनल क्वोशंट पे ज़्यादा ध्यान दे रहे हैं, जिसमें हम बच्चों को ये बता रहे हैं कि अननोन सिचुएशंस में कैसे डील करें, क्योंकि हमेशा अननोन सिचुएशंस ही होंगे अब, क्योंकि अब रेट ऑफ चेंज इंक्रीज हो रहा है। पहले चेंज कांस्टेंट था, अब रेट ऑफ चेंज इंक्रीज हो रहा है। तो हमें ही नहीं पता कि क्या होने वाला है। सो फॉर दैट योर इमोशनल स्टेबिलिटी इज़ वेरी वेरी रिक्वायर्ड। सो इमोशनल क्वोशंट पे ज़्यादा ध्यान दिया जा रहा है। कोडिंग सिखाई जा रही है बच्चों को, क्योंकि अगर आपको कोडिंग नहीं आती 5 साल के अंदर, अभी जैसे मैं कुछ भी हो सकता हूँ, आप कुछ भी हो सकते हैं। जैसे हमें अंग्रेज़ी आती है, हमें मैथमेटिक्स आता है, वर्किंग नॉलेज है जिससे हम लोग बात कर सकते हैं। 5 साल के बाद कोडिंग वैसी चीज़ हो जाएगी। और हमारा इग्नोरेंस, हमें नहीं पता है, लोग इस बारे में बात नहीं करते हैं, विल नॉट स्टॉप इट फ्रॉम कमिंग। अगर लोग इसके बारे में पता, सबके पास गूगल है, गूगल पे जाएं, पता करें, ये सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं। ये होंगी नहीं, हो रही हैं। एंड इट हैज़ ऑलवेज बीन लाइक दिस। फ्यूचर इज़ ऑलरेडी हियर, इट इज़ जस्ट अनइवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड। उसको पूरा आने में थोड़ा टाइम लगता है, लेकिन आ जाएगा। आज नहीं तो कल आ ही जाएगा, क्योंकि इट इज़ इनोवेटेबल, इट इज़ मैथमेटिकल, it is that precise.
Amit Trivedi's music and Amitabh Bhattacharya's lyrics, I think they're stars in their own right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I'll give my major credit to Amit Trivedi and Mr. Amitabh for. I actually based my character on Namo Namo. Let me be very honest. So this is a weird thing that I understand my character by, which is I'll pick up songs or probably compositions, and it just tells me something about my character. You know, the rhythm of it. मैं visualize कर पाता हूँ. Namo Namo single-handedly defined the character for me. Although I understood my character as a metaphor, कि जैसे destruction होगा, शिवा है, destruction होगा तो it will not discriminate. So probably I can base Mansoor on the life that does not discriminate.
wow.
So that I understood as understanding. But गाना जो था ये Namo Namo, वो मैं हर दिन 50 बार सुनता था जब मैं शूट कर रहा था या प्रिपेयर कर रहा था. So I have to give the credit. Sorry, your question.
My favorite is Kafirana. I think it's wonderfully written as well.
आप गाओगे? आप बहुत अच्छा गाते हो, मैंने आपके वीडियोस देखे.
काफिराना?
मैं भी गाऊंगा, आप भी गाओ.
Okay,
प्रॉमिस करता हूँ.
let's do that.
चलिए, आप सबके साथ.
Let's do that. Okay, so my question was that you understand the popular Hindi movie context. How important is music in just taking the movie forward?
Very very important. देखिए, जो कहानी है उसको बहुत तरीके से समझते हैं. जैसे हम रियलिटी को, जैसे मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ तो मैं सिर्फ आपकी आवाज़ नहीं सुन रहा हूँ, मैं आपको देख रहा हूँ. आप कंफर्टेबल हो कि नहीं, आपके जो आप स्टेबल इन द सेंस आप अटेंशन पे कर रहे हो कि नहीं, मुझे ये सारी बहुत स्मॉल नुआंसेस आई पिक अप. स्टोरी का बहुत सारा चीज़ हम शब्दों से नहीं बता सकते, एडिटिंग से नहीं बता सकते. वो कॉम्पोजिशन से ही आएगा. वो उस तरीके के हम आपको बता दें ये रिदम है, और उसमें अगर जो शब्द हैं वो अच्छे हैं इन द सेंस ऑफ कंसिस्टेंट है जो फिल्म से हो रहा है, तो कमाल हो जाता है. बहुत ज़्यादा काम हो जाता है. 20 मिनट 2 मिनट हो जाता है बेसिकली. सो ऑफ कोर्स, और इसमें जितने गाने हैं, मतलब मैं बहुत नार्सिसिस्ट लगूंगा अभी, लेकिन मुझे एक एक गाने से बहुत प्यार है. अलग अलग तरीके से प्यार है.
Even Nisar I think is very nice.
और शब्द भी कितने अच्छे
जी.
सारे.
हम आपकी शायरी के बारे में निदा फाजली और जज़बी साहब के बारे में बाद में बात करेंगे. Okay, so the reviews have been a bit mixed, and so I was reading one review and I was a bit perplexed that when it said that that the name of your character is Mansoor, and Mansoor Ali Khan Pataudi was Sara Ali Khan's grandfather. So the reviewer felt it was a bit inappropriate. So till the time it was not pointed out, so I no one. Yeah, because that's his grandfather. Mansoor Ali Khan Pataudi was her grandfather. So I couldn't understand the context.
So if I name myself Trump, will I be treated like one?
I don't know. I don't know. So what is your take on reviews?
So this is my answer. If I rename myself as Trump, will that change the reviewers' view on my
Perception.
performance?
Perception.
I can change. I can have different names. I don't have a problem at all.
Right. Do you read reviews?
No.
What about public opinion?
Important. Very, very important. I mean, like that's the last thing. And last thing, when I say last thing, it means that everything else is also equally important.
Right.
But last thing, you have left with that gaping hole, and you want that everything that you felt, you can only understand that you have felt it honestly if you feel it when you watch it. This is the only way I can know that I have done it honestly. Because you have to feel exactly what I was feeling at that point of time. And because I happen to be the actor, I know exactly what I was feeling. So this is the last thing that I want to know. Very important, public opinion. And let me tell you something about, I have nothing against reviewers at all. All I'm trying to say is there is something that we understand in science, and science doesn't deal in philosophy. Science means maths. It says that when you have an experience, when you watch it, like you are watching it and you have an experience, and when you are analyzing and watching the experience, these two experiences are completely two different experiences. Now, what are we talking about? I have seen reviewers sitting with a pen and a diary, and while the film is happening, the writing is happening. I'm not saying it is right, wrong, very good, very bad. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying, which science says, and I'm quoting, you are analyzing and viewing. You can't get more analytical than this, right? You're analyzing and viewing, or you could have just viewed. And these two happen to be completely different experiences by neurochemistry. So what are we talking about?
Interesting. Okay, so maybe I think maybe they may be noting certain dialogue, or maybe they may be noting
I'm not
certain points.
suggesting anything. I'm repeating myself again and again. I'm not saying it is right, it is wrong. Could be absolutely right. I don't know. Probably the different experience that I'm talking about, the second one is a more accurate experience. I don't know. All I'm saying is they are different. Can we also view it like without analyzing it? Just say
over judgmental or anything of that sort.
That changes the context and things that you will see, by the way.
You have this tendency of posting couplets from prominent poets. You've been posting Nida Fazli Saab, you've posted Jasbi Saab, which I think a lot of people wouldn't even be maybe knowing, because he's a very classical poet.
Absolutely.
And since I'm from Aligarh, so I know that because he is from Aligarh.
Ji.
So how important is reading, or maybe pursuing certain hobbies for any creative person, and how it impacts their art, creative art?
I think it's very important. That's the only thing, by the way, which is in our hand to be creative. There are many things because of which we become creative, but the only thing that is so dynamic that it's in our hand completely, which will make us more creative, is this, learning. And learning new things, by the way, just not learning one thing. Learning new things and learning the same thing in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So you learn different things and you learn the same thing in different ways. And there's this thing which we understand now, that the more you learn, the less time it takes to learn more. So you become,
the brain
so
becomes
generally,
tuned.
so generally we think that, oh, we are left with so much time, we are so busy in our lives, and there are so many years left. How many things we can learn? What will happen? No, it's not that. The more you learn, the lesser it will take for you to learn even more. And that's a very key thing to understand. So you will start learning many things. Things that you will try for the first time will be 50%, easier for you than anybody else. And it is not about competing, let me tell you. Of course, when you have 10, 12 skills, you will take care of yourself for the rest of your life. With one skill you can. By the way, with no skill you can, if you're smart. And that happens all the time. But say that you have 10, 12 skills. And also, you're not stopping because you like doing it. Then you're saved for the rest of your life. So it is not about competing at all. So it is more about now, like, do you want to come and we have the experience together. So it's more about coming together than competing.
Great. So talking about your films, you're having 4 films next year. So a lot of people have this question about drive.
Yes.
Director we have who's making a comeback after 8 years.
Yeah, he still looks so young.
He still looks so young. And he's having a cult film in a way, which was his last film, that is Dostana.
Yeah.
So what is the latest on Drive?
Oh, we are almost done. And it's going to release in the first quarter of next year. This is what I've been told.
You're also having Son Chiri, I think, which is releasing
Yes,
in February.
Feb.
The teaser has been received very nicely.
Yes.
The Chambal Dacoits, and it must have been a bit of a different experience from what you've done till
Yes,
now.
it's the most different experience I've ever had. I'm like, he would be my 58th character that I would have played. I am counting from my theatre days.
Yeah.
So this is my 58th. The most different I have ever been in. And it's not to sell my next film. It doesn't need that. But I'm not saying it's the best. I'm not saying. I'm saying it is the most different that I can understand a guy and that I know now, having played that character.
You talked about theatre, so you've been trained in, I think, Ekjut Theatre, Nadra Babbars.
And with Barry John.
And Barry John. How important is that for an actor and, in terms of just preparing you?
So we just spoke about the resonance that an actor wants. Suppose I'm in the theatre and I'm seeing, and I see, oh yes, I know what I was feeling, and I'm looking at you, and I say, yes, it is happening. So, but I cannot have that again and again. You know what I'm saying? I can have it once or twice.
Right.
In theatre, that feeling is real-time present. So I crack a joke, and I know you're laughing. I will also have tools to increase the pause if you're keep on laughing. You know what I'm saying? If you can't stop your laughter, I'll not waste my line. I'll stop. It is so dynamic. So the audience plays an active participant as a feedback loop. As an actor, to understand that is very important. I'm not saying acting cannot happen without that. Of course, it can happen. But that knowledge is very, very crucial to understand what to leave on the camera so that the resonance happens. You know, we understand that I know that if I do this and I stop, they will laugh. Or I know that if I just stop here, they will stop. They will stop. They will not do anything. And like, oh wow, will he cry or not? So I can hold it there for as long as I can. You know what I'm saying? As my skills allow me, of course. But that experience is there in the theatre, not anywhere else. I mean, of course, in the film set is there by the crew. But everybody is doing their job.
That's interesting. Now, Fault in the Star remake, when is that going to?
This is going to come, I don't know, but again, in the first 6 months of next year.
So you're also having one more release. Chichore.
Yes.
And that's, I think, the entire premise is very interesting. And
that's in
the
August,
star
I
cast.
guess.
That's in August. So looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, of course. I look forward to all the characters I play while I'm playing the character also.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, I think.
So right now, yeah, see, right now the t-shirt says Schrödinger's smile is very consistent with my IIT character, the character who is in IIT.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get to play my engineering days again.
Rapid fire with Sushant Singh Rajput. So this round is ye ya wo. You have to choose any one of the two. Okay. Films या television?
Film.
Critical acclaim या popular awards?
अगर authentic है तो popular awards.
Lean body या bulked up muscular body?
Fit body. तीसरा भी option देता है.
Okay. लस्सी या whiskey?
लस्सी.
Instagram या Twitter?
पहले Twitter था, अब Instagram.
Diplomacy या सच?
सच है, कभी भी.
Night out या good night sleep?
Night out करके अगले दिन good night sleep. How about that?
Okay. पवित्र रिश्ता या किस देश में है मेरा दिल?
ये बहुत मुश्किल है. लेकिन पवित्र रिश्ता.
परिणीति चोपड़ा या वानी कपूर, better co-star?
Better in terms of? नहीं, ये तो बड़ा जनरल क्वेश्चन हो गया ना. Better co-star मतलब एक्टर पर्सन कुछ स्पेसिफिक होना पड़ेगा. आपको भी स्पेसिफिक हो.
Better co-actor.
Co-actor.
Yeah.
परिणीति.
If you can please answer the following questions in one word very rapidly. One contemporary actor that you admire.
Ranbir.
One recent film you wish you had acted in.
Tumbad.
Tumbad. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You would have wanted to do that film.
I hate Gandhi for that. He's my way. I admire him. We are friends.
Right.
But I wanted to be in that film.
You mentioned who Gandhi you are referring to?
Anand Gandhi.
Anand Gandhi, okay. If you could exchange one thing with Sara Ali Khan?
Books. She also has read many books.
She likes to read as well. Yeah. One thing you could steal from Ekta Kapoor?
Her diamond ring.
A diamond ring.
It's such a big diamond ring. I often tell her that it's so distracting.
One thing in life you wish had never happened?
Never happened.
Yeah.
The Big Bang.
The Big Bang, okay. If a movie was made on you, what genre will it be?
Horror.
Why do you say
Yeah,
that?
because I want sequels. So even if I die, I can play ghosts, right? Horror. Good answer. Yeah.
What would you do if you were invisible?
Everything that I can't tell you right now.
Most promising newcomer of the recent times?
Promising. Give me names and I'll choose one.
Sara is like your co-star, but apart from that, maybe Janvi can be there.
Oh, Vicky Kaushal. Vicky
Vicky
Kaushal. for sure. I love. He's
Oh.
a very fine act. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Vicky is excellent. An embarrassing pickup line used for you?
How much?
How much?
That was long back. But
That was long back.
Yeah.
Okay.
now they know that they should not ask those questions.
All right. Okay. Hot or not? Following statements, whether they're hot or not.
Okay.
Fast bikes.
Hot.
Everyday live updates on social media.
Not.
False accent.
Not.
Paparazzi.
Hot.
Social media trials.
Not.
If you can describe the following people in one word. Okay. Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Without a word. He doesn't need a word. He's good.
Chetan Bhagat.
Efficient.
Ekta Kapoor.
Extremely efficient. Oh, sorry. These are two words. Love.
Okay. Pariniti Chopra.
Confident.
Rakhi Sawant.
Confident.
Sara Ali Khan.
Sharp.
Sushant Singh Rajput.
Paradox.
Paradox. Why do you say that?
I might sound conflicting over a period of time, not in the same time. Because I'm not. But over a period of time, I might sound conflicting. Again, the same problem. The context. We forget the context. We remember the statements.
You're an Aquarian or like
Cusp.
a cusp. Cusp.
Again,
Aquarian and Capricorn.
Yeah.
Because
And
Aquarians.
Saturday, 11:30 p.m. See? I was ready to party the moment I was here.
Because I think Aquarians, they have this thing of they tend to look. They tend to think 10 years ahead. That's what Abraham Lincoln was, an Aquarian. So I don't know. But you say that you're more of a cusp. That's
Yeah,
what.
so I'm absolutely in the present. While I know what are the things that can happen in 10 years.
Great. Okay. So let's take a few fan questions now, Sushant.
Okay.
This is Ruhi from Agra.
Okay.
Can we have more collaboration of yours with Arman Malik? Because you guys are my inspiration, and the album of MS Dhoni has my heart.
Even I love him and we are friends. So yeah, this is a very, thanks for the gentle reminder. I'll tell him that we should work together more often.
Okay, this is Siddiqui from Bangladesh. You're from TV industry, so my question is that today, which TV actor is your favorite and inspires you a lot?
I don't see it like TV actor, let me be very specific. And I don't like saying TV actors. I mean, like mediums are mediums,
Actors
of
are
course,
actors.
and actors are actors. These are
Actors are
completely
actors.
two different things.
Yeah,
And people think that, I did theatre and then I did background dancing. I was also a background dancer once upon a time.
Shamak, you trained
Yes.
with.
So I've danced behind all the stars. And theatre and then TV and then films. So this is the way I have, they say, graduated. No, it is not.
Who all stars have you?
Shahid Kapoor, Hrithik Roshan, Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Imran Hashmi,
Interesting.
Abhishek Bachchan, again, yeah.
All right.
Preeti Zinta, Aishwarya Rai.
Sanyukta Rati from Pune. Sushant, you look so calm and humble. What, according to you, is the best way to deal with haters or trolls?
I'm not saying that don't be aware of what's happening, because that's very important to know. But Einstein said this to Madame Curie. So there was something went wrong with Madame Curie after. She was the first lady to win the Nobel Prize. So while that was a great news, I think the society was not ready for it. So there were rumors about her, and she was very, perplexed, something like that. So Einstein wrote a letter, and I'm elaborating it because it is important for everybody. So Einstein wrote a letter to her and saying that everything is fine and this is it. If you ever care yourself with deliberate negative reviewers, if you have to do it, then just measure the length of the article. That's it.
That's very interesting. That's really
You just need
very
a ruler for that.
That's very interesting. All right, so this is Shuja from Badaयूं, from UP. According to you, who's the most inspiring contemporary actor in the current slot? First day, second show of Kedarnath. I just loved your soberness.
Thank you so much. And I'm glad that you liked the film. I think Rajkumar Rao. Every time I think that I've completely understood him, and now that his performance will be slightly more predictable, but he surprises me all the time.
Right.
I just watched Three last night.
Acha.
Amazing, man. The film also.
Yeah, obviously.
Shraddha also. Very good.
Yeah.
But Rajkumar Rao, wow, he's such a fine actor.
You guys work together in
Yes, Kai Poche. And I have seen it myself. While we would be very honest in all the rehearsals, but he would just explode in front of the camera. And I was experienced. I had also done theatre and TV at that point of time. और वर्कशॉप हमने साथ में किया था, फिर उसमें कुछ तो नुआंसेस लेके आता था, मैं ही देखने लग जाता था कि यार कितना अच्छा किया उसमें. So I learned that. But then with time I thought that I would now predict his moves, but
it's surprising. The range of films that he has done this year has been like really something else. This is Mona from Patna. What makes you so fearless when you come to choose your characters? Don't you get a second thought before experimenting?
No, I do it for a different reason. I mean, I have 11 or 12 things that I absolutely love doing, and one of those 12 things is acting. So I understand why I act. So first of all, I really like acting, and the second thing, I use it for something else. It is not to compete. It is not to be secure. I have 11 more things, but that doesn't make this less important. I also love this. So I keep it safe. The more I diversify, the better I have to become as an actor. The better I become as an actor, the more chances of survival.
This is Shivangi from UP. Was there any incident that happened when you shot in Kedarnath which will remain with you forever?
Absolutely. But I don't know how to say. So I would rather say that it was an experience which was very fulfilling, but I still can't understand it with a knowledge concept. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that this is science or this is philosophy. I just felt very good. Things that probably, that's fulfillment that I completely understood, but never felt before.
This is Pawan from Pune. What is your biggest weakness?
I think I eat sweets a lot.
It doesn't show.
I compensate for that, but it doesn't take away from the fact
I saw your video today morning that you posted on Twitter with those like jumps and all that. It was like the abs.
So you see,
so
I have to compensate for that. So I have to learn skills so as to keep eating sweets. But that's something that I have to stop. I'm aging. we only grow with time, right?
Like you're only in your early 30s right now. This is Karan from Pune. A biopic you're looking to do in future. You've already done one biopic.
Yes, I'm also looking for 2 more biopics at this point of time, but I cannot name them right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Chanda Mam, is it happening? It's not.
Not in the very same way. In a different way.
Different way. That was a biopic as well, in a way.
No, that was a fiction.
That's fiction. Okay. This is Roof from Peshawar, Pakistan. A huge fan of yours. Are you feeling nervous while going on the set, especially during film with new actresses?
No, I don't get nervous. I just have to, because you are so much prepared, and when you do a lot of preparation, you just know that, okay, these are things that you're not doing. Not these are things I am doing. You know what I'm saying? That's very anxious state कि अरे ये सब याद रखना है, ये सब बोलना. हम लोग rather prepare करते हैं कि क्या नहीं करना है. तो anxiety कम होती है, but yeah, of course you're looking forward to what's going to happen. ये दोनों अलग चीजें.
Veer Singh from Patna, 3 acting tips.
Observe. चारों तरफ तीनों टिप यही है. Observe को listen भी याद रख सकते हैं.
Okay, this is Abhi from Jamshedpur. Regarding all the characters you played, whose life would you love to live in reality?
Till now, Mansoor.
You like the character?
I've kept the character. I've sent a helicopter for him separately. No, I seriously. So while I understood most of it while I was reading, in the sense of I wanted to be him, but when I played it, it felt so nice. So I could feel it in my life also.
No, definitely. I think it's a very nicely written role as well.
Kanika, and
Kanika
I'm so
Tilana.
thankful to her.
What is your favorite dish, sweet and street food? This is Nikita from Bareilly.
Is that, I mean, like, I have to choose?
जी, आपका
That
favorite
is the
dish
problem
क्या है?
in my life. I can't choose
Sweet
between these two
and
things.
Sweet and street
This is
food.
the problem in my life. I can't choose. I have to
नहीं
have
चूज
both.
नहीं करिए. अगर
दोनों
आप
खाएंगे.
स्वीट कौन सा आपको पसंद है और
चमचम बहुत
और
अच्छा लगता है, गुलाब
street
जामुन बहुत
food?
अच्छा लगता है. स्ट्रीट फूड में तो पानी पूरी वगैरह,
पानी
चाट
पूरी.
पाट, दिल्ली के है ना, तो इसलिए.
जी. Now this question will interest you. Anmol Singh from Jamshedpur.
क्या पूछ-
Can you please ask him what his views are on God, dimensions or aliens? Wish I could meet him to talk about this, but even a short answer from him would do for now.
It is interesting enough, and enough I'm emphasizing. It is interesting enough right now that I understand that whoever he is, should come and meet me. It's worth.
But still would like to talk about like your views on God and dimensions.
So that's what I'm saying. So these things are good to take. So I'm assuming that since he has used these three words in a single sentence, so I know where he's coming from.
Anmol Singh, I think maybe a girl as well.
Yeah, so, or she, wherever, I mean, like mentally where she is coming from.
Right.
So I understand her curiosity or his curiosity. So I would rather meet in person and talk about it because it will take time.
Okay, this is Akhil Thota from Hyderabad, India. What was the emotional situation of Sushant when he got 7th rank in AIEEE, where his mother was passed away recently?
It was not in AIEEE, but it was in one of the engineering entrance exam which is held nationally. But yeah, it was a very although AIEEE also, my rank was very good. But, you know, more than anything, my mother passed away in December and 2002. And Jan was my pre-boards and of course boards and then IITs and all. And it was so unpredictable that so that happened on 13th of December. I could not understand anything for a month. I flunked my pre-boards, by the way, almost. And then suddenly in 15, 20 days, I was like, what am I doing? And I just went for it. And I cleared almost all engineering entrances. Yeah. In between, I could not understand anything. And so it was a very, how do I say, respite. You know, like, I don't have to now prove anything to anybody. Because my mother was always worried that you should take care of yourself. I know there are many expectations. But do something so that, you know, people don't say that you are not successful in your life. While she went like that, so now more the reason I should do this. And when that happened, I was like, now I can do what I want.
Asif Rahman from Kashmir, if you were an activist, what would you want to protest against?
I am an activist, and that's how I'm picking up my films. We have to see as a pattern, then we would understand. If we have to understand at this, if he wants to understand at this point of time, he has to see the choices of my films.
This is Prateek from Sydney. You like to read a lot. Do you think reading has changed you as a person or changed your thought process?
Yeah, the more number of ways we know that we can see or view anything, perspectives, the better it is in life. You don't get confrontational with anybody because you have multiple of views on anything. So what happens when you read a lot, those are the writers that think in your brain for that time when you're reading. So it's like renting your brain to the writer to think till the time you're reading a book, right? So if you read multiple of books on a particular subject, let's say, so you'll have multiple of point of views on the same thing, while we only understand that there is a right way and then there is a wrong way, or there are wrong ways. But it's not that, there are right ways also. So we get to know that. So first of all, we appreciate the fact that, you know, we are not so right. Everybody could be right at the same time. And also know specifically what are the things that are right. So it's a very good place to be in. Everyone should read and read a lot.
Siddhant from Kota. When are we getting a sequel to Detective Byomkesh Bakshi?
I talk to these people on Instagram, by the way, I remember.
You do?
Yes. I talk to almost 200 every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Siddhant from Kota. When are we getting a sequel to Detective Byomkesh Bakshi?
No, I'm hoping very soon.
That is a damn good character, man.
Yes, I'm hoping very soon.
It can be.
All I'm saying that at this point of time, it is more that I want than what is happening at this point of time. But I'm hoping I get to play it very soon.
Great.
Yeah.
So are you in talks with Divakar for this?
I'm saying that it's more than a hope, just a hope. It's more than a wish, right? All I can say is that.
He's talking about artificial intelligence and dimension and everything. He's playing
It
the
can
dimension.
happen. I'm saying the probability
Yeah, I think
is
it's true.
there.
It is a. It
And
is
I
a,
want that to happen.
It was technically a brilliant film. Like the entire thing, the last 30 minutes were like.
I was so happy
Seriously
playing that character.
It was.
And
He's very stylized.
when I see the picture or the, I feel very nostalgic. So it's not like, oh, beaming that I have done good or bad, whatever. But it is, I want to do it again. You know what I'm saying? So it's a reason enough to make it happen. What do you say?
Make it happen. No, I think it must actually. Best part was the stylized part. I think the way the Kolkata was shown was brilliant. All right, so Sushant Singh Rajput, congratulations once again on the success of Kedarnath.
Thank you so
Wonderful
much
talking to you, and thank you for finding time for us.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
And looking forward to all your films in 2019. And thank you so much. All the
Looking
best.
forward to the next interview.
Thank you so much. That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.